Welcome to Lesson 10 of writing an academic essay from start to finish, where we're literally writing an essay together from start to finish. In our previous lesson, we talked about how to write body paragraphs. In this lesson, writing conclusions, we're going to talk all about how to write a really good conclusion for our essay. We're going to go over the structure of a conclusion, some linking words you can use to improve the flow of your conclusion, and tips for writing a great conclusion. We're also going to do a quick reflection activity at the end where we read through a conclusion together. All right, it's time to write. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and let's get started. The goal of a conclusion is twofold: reinforce your main points and leave a lasting impression on the reader. To do this effectively, you'll need three main parts to your conclusion: your thesis statement, again, your summary, and an unhook. I always say it's like the introduction, but flipped. So you want to start your conclusion with your thesis statement reworded. For example, in conclusion, the impact of music on our brains extends far beyond entertainment. Music enhances memory, reduces stress, and lifts our mood, making it a powerful tool for improving mental health and emotional health. So I've reintroduced my arguments to solidify them in the mind of the reader. Then I'm going to summarize my paragraphs. For example, it enhances memory by stimulating the hippocampus, reduces stress and anxiety by lowering cortisol levels, and lifts our mood by triggering dopamine release. These benefits show that music is more than just an art form. It's an essential tool for overall brain function and health. If a reader reads this, they should have a pretty good understanding of what I said in my essay. If you feel like you're repeating yourself, it's okay. That's what a conclusion is meant for. I mean, think about it. If you don't want to read a text, like the whole thing, where do you go? Straight to the conclusion, because you know it's likely going to give you a good summary of the text. Finally, end it off with an unhook. We start off our essay with a hook, so we end it by unhooking the reader. In previous lessons, when I explained hooks, I used the analogy of talking on the phone. So when you start talking to someone on the phone, you start with, "Oh, hey, how are you? How's it going?" That's the hook. It's an opening statement to open up a conversation. And an unhook is kind of like saying goodbye. You wouldn't just close the phone in someone's face at the end of a conversation. You would end it off with, "Oh, I'll see you later. Okay, nice talking to you. Okay, bye." That's kind of like what an unhook is. It's a closing statement. Here's an example. Essentially, embracing music in its various forms can lead to a healthier, happier, and more harmonious existence. Let's do a quick reflection. What are some of the main differences between an introduction and a conclusion? And what are some similarities? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now let's look at each of these parts in more depth. Starting off our conclusion with our thesis statement, we want to avoid copy-pasting our thesis statement from our introduction to our conclusion and restate it in different words, just to remind the reader of the key arguments we were focusing on in our essay. So let's look at my thesis statement and some examples of it rephrased for my conclusion. My thesis statement is, you're probably bored of hearing it by now, but my thesis, if you've been watching all the lessons. All right, my thesis statement is, music is good for the brain because it improves memory, reduces anxiety, and boosts mood. Restatement number 1. While the benefits of music have been long appreciated, recent research has revealed its profound effect on the brain, specifically in enhancing memory, reducing anxiety, and boosting mood. Here I added an introductory phrase before I went into my thesis statement. Restatement number 2. To conclude, by enhancing memory, reducing anxiety, and boosting mood, music can be a powerful tool for promoting cognitive well-being. Here I added a concluding transition word and I switched the structure of my sentence by taking my points and putting them at the beginning and then moving my topic and my argument to the end. Restatement number 3. In conclusion, recent research has proven that music improves memory, reduces anxiety, and boosts mood, making it beneficial for the mind. Same thing, just switched up the wording. Top tip, you can always use AI to give you some options for rephrasing your thesis. Just make sure that you put it in your own words at the end. After rewording our thesis statement, we can then summarize. What are we summarizing? The main points that we made in our body paragraph. We want our summary to be like a mini essay of our essay. So reiterating our main points and reiterating the significance of our argument. Here are some questions you can ask yourself while writing your conclusion. What new ideas does your essay add to what we already know about the topic? How does your argument impact the real world? And why should the reader care about the information you presented? So main points and significance of our points, and don't worry if it's a little repetitive. Once you've completed your summary, you're ready for the final few sentences of your essay. Your unhook is a final thought that leaves a lasting impression on the reader. And there are several strategies you can use for writing a closing statement or unhook. First, similarly to a hook, you can opt for a question. For example, with its multifaceted benefits, music emerges as a powerful brain booster. Could music be the key to unlocking even greater cognitive potential in the future? Or, also similarly to a hook, you can opt for a quote. For example, music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything. Just make sure your quote is directly related to your topic. Or you can end with a call to action, depending on the topic of your essay. A call to action urges the reader to do something, to make a change, to take action. For example, since music has such a positive effect on the brain, consider incorporating more into your daily routine. Listen to music while you exercise, unwind after a long day, or even use it to boost your focus while working. Here, I've encouraged the reader to take what they learned from my essay and apply it in their lives. And finally, and my personal favorite, you can circle back to your hook. So the hook for my essay was music is more than just notes and sounds. So my unhook could be music, therefore, is more than just notes and sounds. It's the key to a healthier, happier, and more harmonious existence. A conclusion like this really provides a sense of closure for the reader. Whatever strategy you may choose for your unhook, remember that your unhook is your mic drop moment. So make sure it's impactful. And the best part is once you've finished writing your closing statement, you're done. You've finished your essay. All you have to do is edit a million times, but otherwise you're done. When you're writing your conclusion, you're gonna wanna use some linking words to provide some flow to your writing. And different linking words have different purposes. There are linking words for summarizing ideas, like in other words, as shown, and to reiterate. There are linking words for illustrating cause and effect, like therefore, as a result, thus. There are also linking words for closing your essay, like in conclusion, in closing, to conclude, finally, etc. I won't read through all of them because that'll probably be very boring. However, you can grab our free linking words PDF. It includes linking words for introductions, body paragraphs, and conclusions. The link is in the description. Now, while linking words can provide flow to your essay, try not to overuse them. Use your best judgment and try to use linking words purposefully. Before we head into our activity, I want to cover some final tips for writing your conclusion. First, you want to keep it relevant. Explain the significance of the argument that you made in your essay. You can also use AI to help you identify important themes related to your topic. Next up, keep it credible. Try and draw on useful evidence that was presented in your body paragraphs. Or keep it progressive. Mention areas for future research. Or if your essay discusses an important problem, present some solutions. And finally, keep it connected. Your conclusion is meant to tie your entire essay together and provide a sense of closure. All right, it's time for a quick activity. For this activity, we're gonna do a conclusion reflection. We're gonna read through a conclusion, identify its main parts, and then talk about some of its strengths and weaknesses. Let's read. Okay, in conclusion, the impact of music on our brains extends far beyond entertainment. Music enhances memory, reduces stress, and lifts our mood, making it a powerful tool for improving mental and emotional health. It enhances memory by stimulating the hippocampus, reduces stress and anxiety by lowering cortisol levels, and lifts our mood by triggering dopamine release. These benefits show that music is more than just an art form. It is an essential tool for overall brain function and health. Essentially, embracing music in its various forms can lead to a healthier, happier, and more harmonious existence. All right, let's find some parts. So our thesis was right here. Music enhances memory, reduces stress, and lifts our mood. The summary, we summarized our main points in these sentences over here. We spoke about how it stimulates the hippocampus, lowers cortisol levels, triggers dopamine, etc. And finally, our unhook is here. Embracing music in its various forms can lead to a healthier, happier, and more harmonious existence. You can always ask AI to generate a conclusion for the same topic and then compare yours to AI's. Now let's hop into the strengths and weaknesses of this conclusion. So for strengths, I would say we had a strong thesis statement and a good summary. It was succinct and to the point. We also had an optimistic final thought where we showed how music can help in many areas of life. As for areas of improvement, the unhook could have taken less of a general approach and could have been tied more specifically to the argument that I was making in my essay, which is that music is good for the brain. And here we ended with how music can improve our lives in general, so it could have been more specific. I also caught a word repetition here, so we have essential tool and then essentially, so it could be a little more concise. But share your thoughts. Let me know what you think of this conclusion in the comments below. All right, that's it. You are ready to write the conclusion of your essay. In our next lesson, we're going to talk all about editing essays, so make sure you have your entire essay written and ready for scrutiny. Remember, for some extra support, you can always grab our complete writing and academic essay bundle. It includes all of the slides from this series and some additional resources. And if you need some extra support, you can always book a tutoring session. The links are in the description below. All right, I'm gonna leave you to your conclusions, and I'll see you next time for some serious editing.